So here we go with our week one college football predictions. We start with North Carolina, California. The game will be in Chapel Hill. It's an early morning kickoff, a lot like when Stanford went to Northwestern a few years ago. They struggled. It was an early game. I think that favors North Carolina. The Tar Heels win, but they don't cover the 12.5-point spread. The second big game of the weekend, North Carolina State, South Carolina. The game will be played at a neutral site. I think the strength of North Carolina State being their defensive line favors them against a South Carolina team that allowed the most sacks in the SEC a year ago. I think the Wolfpack win. South Carolina favored by 5. I think North Carolina State wins outright. Another big game, Michigan against Florida from Arlington, Texas. The Wolverines come in favored by 4.5. I think Florida, with the suspensions at running back and receiver, no Jordan Scarlett, no Antonio Callaway, that plays into Michigan's hands. Michigan lost a lot, but the defensive line should be a strength. And you do have Wilton Speight coming back. Experience more from Michigan at quarterback. Felipe Frank's a true freshman. I like Michigan to win and cover the 4.5-point spread. UCLA and Josh Rosen host Texas A&M and Kevin Sumlin, both coaches come in the game on the hot seat yet again. This game played in Pasadena. Bruins favored by 3.5. I think Rosen, the more experienced quarterback, helps UCLA win. Bruins win and cover the 3.5-point spread. West Virginia, Virginia Tech also on Sunday night. This one from FedEx Field in Maryland. I think Will Grier and Justin Crawford coming back helps West Virginia score more than a Virginia Tech team that has to replace Jared Evans, Isaiah Ford, and Bucky Hodges. Mountaineers win outright. Virginia Tech is the favored team. Texas and Maryland. I think Texas just too much talent. They win and they cover the 19-point spread against the Terrapins. Georgia Tech, Tennessee. Tennessee a year ago struggled against the run. What does Georgia Tech do? They run the triple option. I think Georgia Tech wins this game outright. Tennessee favored by 3. I think too much running from Georgia Tech, and Tennessee gets off to a rough start in 2017. Moving on, I think LSU, BYU. BYU's offensive line did not look great against Portland State. I think the Tigers, too much talent on the defensive line. Matt Canada helps Danny Etling. Darius Geis, of course. Tigers win and cover the 14.5-point spread. The upset pick of the week, Wyoming over Iowa outright. The game being played in Iowa City. A year ago, the Bison of North Dakota State came into Iowa City and won. Craig Bohl, the head coach of Wyoming, was the architect of that North Dakota State team when they won many championships. I like Wyoming to win this game. They have a better quarterback, Josh Allen. Iowa breaking in Nate Stanley. A lot of questions at receiver for Iowa. I think Wyoming comes in and pulls the upset. And then the game of the week, the one we've all been waiting for, Alabama, Florida State, opening Falcons Stadium. This is going to be a tough one. I think Florida State has a lot of talent, especially on defense. DeAndre Francois back. Cam Akers, very talented, but this is a true freshman playing his first game, and it's against Alabama. Florida State's two biggest weaknesses a year ago, offensive line play and an inability to stop dual threat quarterbacks, C. Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson. What does Alabama do? They have a great defensive line, although they are breaking in many new starters. And Jalen Hurts can run and throw. I think that might be the difference in the game. Bama wins a close one, 31-27.